Hi guys, it's me again. I'm going to go through page 30 with you. We did do consecutive integers in the beginning of the year. Hopefully you remember a little bit about them. I will look for the little video that we had seen in the beginning of the year and I'll post that as well. Basically, the word consecutive means one right after the other. So like if you did something Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, that would be 3 consecutive days. Okay? So consecutive integers, you would do x plus 1, x plus 2, x plus 3, etc. You can always think about a number line. So if I had 0, then 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, how do I go from 0 to 1? I add 1. How do I go from 0 to 2? I add 2. Okay? So consecutive even is a little different. You're going to start with x, but this time you're adding 2, and then adding 4, and then adding 6. And it's not because they're even that it's 2, 4, 6. It's because that's how much you need to add to go from 0 to 2, and then to go from 0 to 4, and then to go from 0 to 6, because you're basically skipping or jumping over the odd numbers. Okay, consecutive odd, you would use the same thing you use as even. And again, it's because this time you're skipping over. So let's say I start at 1. I'm skipping over the 2 and going to 3. I'm skipping over to the 5. Okay, so it really has to do more with spacing on the number line. Okay, find 2 consecutive odd integers. So I'm going to let x be the first. And then I'm going to let x plus 2 be the second. Just think about like 3 and 5. How do you go from 3 to 5? You add 2. Product means multiply. So I write x times x plus 2, and that's going to equal 99. So using the distributive property, I get x squared plus 2x. And I'm going to move the 99 because it's a quadratic. Quadratics, if you're going to choose to factor, you want to set them equal to 0. If you're going to choose to use the quadratic formula, you're going to set them equal to 0. You don't have to set them equal to 0 to use completing the square, but you could. I usually move my 99 and leave a blank. All right, so this factors into x plus 11 and x minus 9. So I get the answer of x equaling negative 11, and I get the answer of x equaling 9. So if x was 9, then the other one would be 11. If x was negative 11, then the other one would be negative 9. And I get that by substituting back into my let statements. Find 2 consecutive positive integers. So they're consecutive. So I'm going to have x equal the first, and I'm going to have x plus 1 equal the second. The square of the first, x squared, decreased by 17 minus 17 equals 4 times the second. You do need those parentheses for the second. Okay, so that gives me x squared minus 17. Distributive property gives me 4x plus 4. I'm going to set it equal to 0. So remember, when you move the 4x to the other side, you do that by subtracting. When you move the 4 to the other side, you do that by subtracting. If you change your side, you change your sign because of inverse operations. All right, this factors into x minus 7 and x plus 3. So that gives me x equals 7 and x equals negative 3. 2 consecutive positive integers. So goodbye to the negative 3. So that's going to be 7 and 8. And again, you can check this, okay? Substitution is the way we check. You should be checking all your answers, especially before you submit them on a check-in. It's obvious that many of you are not checking your answers because if you checked it, you would know it was wrong before you submitted it. That's why you check things, okay? Take some pride in your work. Check your work before you submit it. x equals the first number, x plus 2 equals the second. Product, it means multiply. All right, so we have x squared plus 2x minus 195 equals 0. This is a quadratic, so we're setting it equal to 0. This factors, so I'm going to use x plus 15 and x minus 13. I use factoring a lot. I like factoring. You don't have to use factoring. You can use completing the square. You can use the quadratic formula. It doesn't matter. You just have to get it done and figure it out. It doesn't say anything about even and odd, so both of these answers are eligible. So if the first one's negative 15, then negative 15 plus 2 is negative 13. If the first one is 13, 13 plus 2 is 15. Okay, I hope you are following along, and if you have a question, you need to reach out. Okay, look in the mirror, make sure you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Hope you are, and have a good day.